My name is Trey Franks, and I work with the Arkansas Department of Agriculture Forestry Division, and I'm the District Forester for District 1, located out of Monticello. I'm also the Tree Farm Chair for District 1. Today we're going to talk about BMPs, and that stands for Best Management Practices. So you might be wondering, like, what's BMPs? Do I need them on my property? And one of your first things you can start out with is contacting your the resource professional that you may use for your property. It could be a biologist or a forester, and just ask them, do I need BMPs on my property? Do I need to implement that? Am I interested in that kind of thing? If you haven't started, just purchased a property, or about to start some kind of forestry practices on your property, you could always contact your local forestry office, go down there, talk to the forester. You can pick up a free BMP manual, and through here you have all the details and practices you can do. This manual is kind of neat, because in the very back you're going to have to know what slope you have on your property, and this manual has a slope calculator in the very back of it. So all you have to do is tie string to the binding down the middle with a weight on it, and you just look down the binding either up or down the slope, the hill that you're wanting to know the slope on, and hold it and look, and you'll know what slope you have. So let's start with, like, what are BMPs? BMPs are practices that reduce water quality issues. So like I said, you can talk to the forester about it, and to find out if you have BMP issues on your property, all you have to do is just either look at a topo map and look and see if you have any streams there, or a lot of topography, a lot of slope, a lot of contour lines on your property that you might need to look at. The next step would be just get out there and walk the property. Look for erosion and steepness and things of that nature that will cause erosion that you need to address, because you want to avoid sedimentation getting into the water and flowing away. So areas of concern, like we said, are going to be terrain, such as the slope and things, and active roadways, which, well, active and inactive roadways, and you also have water bodies. So what are water bodies? Anything to where water is going across the property. You could have ponds or lakes out there that you want to protect and not have things happen to those. You want to keep them pure. The next thing would be streams, creeks, and ditches, things of that nature. Well, there are two types of streams and creeks that this book will label. So you got ephemeral, which is ditches and things that only hold water after rain events, or you got a non-ephemeral stream that will be such as what we have behind us, where it holds water year round. So those are the ones that we recommend having streamside management zones on, and that is SMZs. So what is SMZ? SMZ is a buffer zone adjacent to a water body on both sides, to protect against water quality issues. To protect water quality. So another type of concern we'll be having are roadways. So you're either going to have active roadways or inactive roadways. Active roadways are things that are like gravel roads or trails that you're constantly traveling down, and inactive roadways are considered like fire lanes, something you're going to only travel when you're doing maybe the practice, maybe like if you put in fire lanes to either protect or to burn an area once or twice a year, something like that. So preventative techniques that you're going to use, you would do on active roadways would be like installing wing ditches, culverts, or such as right behind me, you got a low water crossing where they put in either concrete or riprap to where when you're crossing you're not stirring up sediment. Inactive roadways would be a vegetative state. You would want to plant it back in native grasses, and to give it time to avoid erosion, to give it time for that vegetation to take off, you would want to install water bars. So water bars are basically speed bumps that you're going to install, so many throughout the fire break, depending on slope and soil type. So if you have a highly erodible soil, you'll want more water bars, and all it does is divert water out away from the fire break out into the woods. So like I said, you can, if you don't know what slope you have, just refer back to the back of the book, and if you do know the slope, in here is the number of water bars that you'll need to install to keep erosion from happening. And lastly, we're going to talk about forestry practices, because that can always be a huge issue in water quality issues. So you may have harvesting, where you get big equipment out there, a fellow buncher or a skidder, and they're going to be causing rutting, which you want to really minimize any kind of rutting out there if possible. And crossing streams, constantly crossing streams in the same area, repetitive, we want to avoid that. Site preparation for replant. You're going to have machine planting or subsoiling out there, which is soil disturbance, which could cause water quality issues. Chemical applications. You may have chemical applications such as aerial skidder spray or ATV spray. Well, you want to avoid putting that chemical directly into the water, any spilling, and you want to avoid treating S&Z areas. During control burns, you may have, you do not want to plow the fire lane through an S&Z. In there, you want to do more step back approach, where you might want to just install hand lines or just do a soft line of some sort. So like I said, if you have any questions, just contact your resource professional, either private lands biologist or a forester, and they will help you through it.